Today we continue Sayādaw, contemplation of the body in the body. Punacha param bhikkhave bhikkhu giccantawa giccamiti pajanati. Titawa titamiti pajanati niseinowa niseinomiti pajanati Sayānowa sayanomiti pajanati Yata yatawa panasakaya panihitohoti tata tatanam pajanati. Buddha said, and again, bhikkhus, a bhikkhu knows I'm going when he is going. He knows I'm standing when he is standing. He knows I'm sitting when he is sitting. He knows I'm lying down when he is lying down, or just as his body is disposed, so he knows it. Here what means bhikkhu pajanati. Bhikkhu knows means practitioner know thoroughly. They know deeply. It is not just a superficial knowledge, it is a deep knowledge of what is going on. So meditators clearly know the going, standing, sitting, and lying down. So when we practice vipassana meditation, we must have that kind of ability. We need to remember, do not add anything, the unreal objects. And do not take anything real from the objects. That means yogis are able to take the objects as it is without any addition. Buddham Buddhato Pasati. We need to observe the body as impermanent, unsatisfactory, and uncontrollable. So when we practice thoroughly, we will understand the phenomena Namarupa as they really are. So there's a difference between the understanding of practitioner and that of those who do not practice meditation regarding walking, standing, and so on. And there are people as there are now who said that knowing I'm going when I'm going is just ordinary. Everybody knows that he is going when he is going. They might say even dogs, fox, no, they are going. when they are going. If knowing I'm going when I'm going is said to be meditation, then they may say, we are meditating too. Although we do not sit down like you meditate, still we are meditating because we know we are going when we are going. So the reply to such people is that there is a big difference between the understanding of those who do not practice meditation and the practitioner of those yogis who practice vipassana meditation. In order to understand this explanation, actually, this explanation was given in the ancient commentaries. So in order to understand this, first we need to understand what is walking and what is moving. What are involved in what we call a movement? According to Abhidhamma, nothing moves. So there is nothing that moves, whether it is nama or rupa, whether it is mind or matter. Nama rupa disappear at the place it arises. So whether it is nama or rupa, whether it is mind or matter, it does not move. So there is no movement at all according to Abhidhamma. But we are moving. We are going, we are walking. We are moving our bodies, we are moving our hands, we are moving our legs and so on. It is not easy to accept that there is no moving, because there is moving. We are moving all the time. But on the ultimate analysis, there is no moving. There are only still things, still mind and matter. But these mind and matter, these nama rupa, arise and disappear in so rapid succession that we think that there is movement. We can take the analogy of a moving pictures in the moving film. Let us assume you go to a movie and you watch. When you watch a movie, do you see moving pictures on the screen? You don't. If you think the pictures on the screen are moving, just look at the movie film. There are frames on the film. In each frame, there is a pictures. The pictures in one frame, it is just a tiny little bit difference from the pictures in another frame. They are very small, almost imperceptible difference. But when they put the film in the projector and the projector is made to project 36 frames a second, we get the illusion that they are moving. But actually the pictures of frame number 1 is projected. It does not move, but it disappears immediately after it is projected. And then next moment, the pictures of the frame number 2 also is projected on the screen. It does not move and then disappear again. But we are not so quick. Our vision is not so quick that we are unable to see the individual pictures come and go. What we see is we conjure up in our minds the movement because we retain the pictures we saw a moment ago and connect it with the pictures we now see. So there is an illusion of movement, but actually there is no movement at all, just the individual pictures appearing one after another in rapid succession. That is just about 36 frames a second. According to Abhidhamma, it is said that billions of thought moments arise and disappear. When we want to make a movement, let us assume that there is a movement. When we want to make a movement, first there is the intention in our mind to make that movement. We want to move. That is why there is a movement. So first there is the mental activities in our mind. Mental activities as desire, mental activities as intention. So we want to move. That mental activity produce material properties, Cetaja Rupa. Now you want to move. That activities, that desire may last for 1 second or 2 seconds. During these 1 or 2 seconds, how many thoughts moments arise and disappear? Billions of thought moments produce billions of material properties, or billions of thought moments create billions of material properties. They are called Vayodhatu, wind element, or air elements. There are 4 essential elements among the material properties. Patwidhatu, the elements of earth, Apodhatu, elements of water, Vayodhatu, elements of air, Tejodhatu, elements of fire. What is produced when we have the intention to move? It is the elements of air, and billions of particles of elements of air are produced, and also billions of old air elements disappear. So some disappear and some arise new. That creates illusion in our mind that we move or we are moving. But actually what we call moving is just the increase in the material properties of air elements in our body. That is what we call movement. In this movement, in this something that we call movement, we do not find any abiding entity. We do not find any person. We do not find any man or woman. We do not find any soul. So first we must understand this, what we call them, mechanism of moving. First, there is the intention, and the intention produces air elements. So the air elements produce what is called kaya vinyati, bodily intimation. Bodily intimation means movement and moving forward of the whole body by the diffusion of the air elements caused by mind is called going. Now, when people say they also know they are going, when they are going, what do you think? Do you think that they really know? Now we can examine. Maybe they know sometimes, even then they know very superficially. They know means they are aware of that they are walking in a very superficial way. When you meet your friends on the sidewalk, and you can ask your friends what you are thinking at that moment. Probably your friend is thinking of something else other than the walking. He may be thinking of his home, he may be thinking of his office, he may be thinking of the problems, he may be thinking of his plans, or he may be thinking of other things. But very rarely you will find a man who is thinking of his walking, or who is thinking who is aware of his walking. So their understanding is very shallow, and their understanding is with the view that they are person and they are the same persons as they were a moment before. So their understanding cannot be called kammatthana, meditation, because meditation is defined as Bhavana Kama Miwa Uttarotari Bhavana Yatana. The work of development, which is the cause of further development. But their understanding cannot cause further development. So their understanding cannot be called Kammatthana meditation. So when they say they know, they do not know every time the intention to go and the material phenomena that moves arise. So every time the intention arises and the material phenomena arise, they don't know. They may know very infrequently, or they may know sometime only. They do not know intention and rupa, metta separately. When they say they know, I know I'm going when I'm going, what they say is mind and metta together. They do not see mind and metta, nama and rupa separately from one another. They cannot distinguish nama and rupa. They cannot distinguish mind from metta. They cannot distinguish metta from mind. They take themselves as a whole. They take themselves as one whole unit, one solid. They do not know separately the intention, which is mind, and the movement, which is metta. And they do not know that the successive movement arise due to successive moments of intention. Even though intention may last for 1 or 2 seconds, there are billions of moments of intention. These billions of moments of intention arise one after another. They arise in a very rapid succession. Due to the arising of very rapid succession of intention, there is a successive movement. They do not know in that way, and they do not know that there are only two things at a time: successive intention and successive movement. And another, they do not know that there is just the intention and the movement itself. They do not know. They think that there is some other things which is permanent as a person or a soul, as a soul, and so on. So they do not see for themselves that successive intention and successive movement arise and disappear at the very moment. At the very moment they arise, they disappear. Next moment, there is another pair of intention and movement, or intention and material properly. They do not see that successive intention and successive movement arise and disappear at every moment, section by section, link by link, part by part. They do not see in this way. and they do not reach to the next moments of intention and arising movement. So one pair of mind and matter arise and then disappear. It does not exist until the next moment. It does not exist including the next moment. At this moment they arise. At this moment they disappear. Next moment there is a new pair of mind and matter. They do not know in this way. What they say they know is just very superficial knowing, and even that they know is just once a while. So their understanding is very superficial and very different from the understanding of yogis who practice meditation, who practice walking meditation meticulously. So when you practice vipassana meditation, you pay close attention to the what is happening at the moment. You pay attention to the lifting, moving, pushing, and then shifting. And so there is a moving forward. When you apply mindfulness to these activities, and when your concentration gets strong, then you come to see the movements of walking or whatever in their true perspective. There is those yogis who meditate know every time the intention to go and the material phenomena that move arise because they are watching closely. Since you are watching closely, since you are paying attention, you see the intention arise, and then every time the intention to go in the material that move arise. Every time they arise, you know, and you know the intention and metta separately. Now, those yogis who practice meditation know that there is intention and the movement that is separate from the intention. They are two different things, not one mixed with the other. This also yogis comes to know through the practice of mindfulness and through attainment of concentration. And yogis know that successive movements arise due to successive moments of intention. These movements arise due to the successive moments of intention because there are successive moments of intention. There are successive movements arising. If moments of intention no longer arise, there is no moving. there will be no moving because there is no intention. Suppose you want to move and you make notes of intention to move. If the intention really disappears, you may not move because there is no intention now. So when there is no intention, there is no moving. This also yogis comes to know through concentration, because yogi captured intention and movement clearly. And then they know that there are only two things at a time: successive intention and successive movements, and none other. So when you pay really close attention to the walking, you come to see that there are only two things at the time of walking: the intention that produces material properties and the successive movement. Just these two things and nothing over and above these two things, which we can call a person, which we can call a being, which we can call a man or woman or a soul. When you pay attention to the intention and the successive movement, you will not fail to see that they arise and disappear at every moment. They arise bit by bit, link by link, part by part. Although they seem to be connected, actually they are not connected. They are just different segments. They are just different parts, but one close to the other. Maybe we can say, we can take the line of termites. When you look at them from a distance, you think that there is the line of termites there. But actually there is no line of termites there, just the termites. When you go close and look at the individual termites, you lose the notion that there is lines of termites. Just the individual termites at a given point. At every point, there is a different, a separate termites. In the same way, at the given point, in the moment, there is a new pair of mind and matter. There is a new, there is a separate pair of mind and matter. They arise and disappear bit by bit, segment by segment. This also yogi see when he pays close attention to what is happening at the present moment, and also when he gets concentration. So when a yogi knows, he knows with the reference to three questions. That is, who goes? Who's going is it? On what account does he goes? Or why does he go? Ko gichati, who goes? A person goes. The answer is no living beings or a person whatsoever. There is just mind and matter arising and disappearing. In the ultimate analysis, we do not find any living beings there, just mind and matter arising and disappearing, performing their perspective function. So the question, who goes? You can answer, nobody goes. No living beings, no person whatsoever. And the second question, Kasa Gamanan. Whose going is it? Kasachi Satasawa Pukulasawa Nagamanam. The answer is nobody is going. Since there is nothing we can call a person, the going is not the person properties or that person properties. So the question, whose going is it? Not the going of any living beings or a person or a atta or self. Then the next question, King Karana Gichati. Why does he go? He goes because of the diffusion of the air elements caused by mind, caused by intention. So why does he goes? On account of the diffusions of air elements, he is said to go. So does he go or does he move? Conventionally he does, but in the ultimate sense, he does not go, he does not move, because even there is no he, just the mind and matter. When yogi knows the correct answer to these three questions, he is said to understand the movements and he is said to understand the actions according to reality. When a yogi sees this way, he understands that when we say I go or he goes, it is just for the sake of convenience of usage. We have to use these terms, I go, he goes, and so on, for the sake of usage, for the sake of convenience in communicating to each other. Because we cannot say Nama and Rupa go, mind and Metta go, Nama Rupa sit, mind and Metta sit, and so on. We do not say, we cannot say. So we have to use I, you, he, designating a person, and so on. But in reality, there is no person, there is no man, there is no woman, there is just mind and Metta, there is just Nama and Rupa. In the act of going, just the intention and the diffusion or increase of air elements. These air elements are those that originated in the mental activities. So a ship goes by the winds of by the force of wind, and an arrow goes by the force of bowstring. In the same way, this body goes by the force of air elements. That air elements which is originated by mental activities. So in the same way, we move, our body goes, our body stand, our body sit, motivated by the strings of mind. When we don't want to go, we do not go. When we don't want to walk, we do not walk, and so on. When yogi practice thoroughly, and they can capture the kinds of intention and the movement clearly. So who is there in this world that can, without causes and condition, by his own power, sit or go? So can we sit without the intention to sit? Can we go without the intention to go? The answer is no. So that is how yogis understand going and other activities. That is when they practice meditation and when they apply mindfulness to what is happening at the present moment. Even yogis may lose this kinds of understanding when they do not meditate, when they are away from meditation for a long time. The understanding of a yogi and the understanding of an ordinary person, or understanding of those who do not practice meditation, is poles apart. It is quite the opposite. So those who do not practice meditation think that there is a person and so on. But those yogis who practice meditation know that there is no person, there is just mind and matter. Go rolling on and on, doing their respective function. So this correct and deep understanding yogi can get just by paying attention to what is happening at the present moment. Yogi don't need an expensive machine as an instrument to discover this process. So yogis just need mindfulness. You just need to use mindfulness as a tool to discover the secret of what we call walking, pulling, sitting, and so on, and what we call movements. So according to Abhidhamma, there is nothing that moves, and we can verify the statement by knowledge through our personal experience. In order to get these kinds of knowledge, we need to practice meditation. We need to practice Satipatthana Vipassana meditation. So we have to stop our discourse for today. By practicing Vipassana meditation, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses, by noting rising, falling, sitting, standing, walking, seeing, hearing, smelling, continuously and meticulously, may all yogis be liberated from all suffering. May all yogis realize the real peace in the very near future.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.